Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Your favorite podcast, it's Critical Blast. So I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
That's ever the question. What comic books are you reading? Wow, this camera, this new camera built into this new laptop. I have the same lights on I always have, and it looks like I'm trying to pose for a Queen album cover here. I'm in black, I'm surrounded by black. I'm sweating from this bulb here, and that bulb back there is, well, that bulb is blocked by a box. And these boxes and these boxes, that's my life now, is boxes. All these boxes, by the way, if you are a backer of crowdfunded comics, you might want to know that these boxes look like this. Yes, the embrace is here. The embrace is being fulfilled. That's me. I'm doing that. It's a little slow going because there's a lot of stuff here. This one's a big project, guys. So we want to make sure that you get everything that you pledged for. And if there's anything that you did not get that was part of your order, I'm the guy to yell at. Okay. So, and I don't like getting yelled at. You know, I was married for 30 years, got tired of that part. And I don't want to be yelled at anymore. Okay. Especially by my customers and my customers' customers. So I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, Proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and Receptionist for Critical Blast Consulting. Yes, that's a thing now. And I actually had my first official client today, and I'm crunching some numbers for them on their campaign. So, yeah, we're doing all of it. And tonight is just open topic. We have sent the link out to a few of our regular friends, and now we're going to, just wait for them to show up. One of them's already here. You all know and love Mike Walters. And Mike, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
All right. How about yourself, RJ?
I'm doing good. So when did you get out of prison, man?
I wasn't in prison. I told you a while back I was going to do this soon, because you saw how it was before. It was pretty out there, so you knew the time was coming.
It was definitely coming. Yeah, Pops is wanting some Fritos. You got the munchies, Pops? I can't imagine why you would possibly be having any munchies for Fritos. They're good though. Intense Webs is here. Yeah, I agree. If I took out that light back there and just blacken the background, I could just do my own Queen album cover, which wouldn't be too awfully bad, I guess.
Well, to answer Pop's question there, my barber cut it, but I don't see why you'd want to kick his ass unless you're jealous.
He didn't leave half of it. He cut them all. Of course, now, if Pop's got that kind of a haircut, that would really shock us all. So don't do that, Pops. You keep your hair just the way it is. Keep it under your hat, man. Wow, we got so much going on, Mike. Obviously, I just showed, the embrace is done, or the embrace is here being done. We just did Red Eyes number 2, which includes some Red Eyes number 1. So everybody who ordered that should be seeing it arrive. All the domestic orders are in the mail. They're out. There's a box being shipped to Europe and a box being shipped to Australia, to our hubs there. And not part of Red Eyes, but definitely part of the embrace. We have now added Canada to our distribution hubs. Before it was just like, we only had one going to Canada for any campaign we ever did. So what was the point? But now we have a hub, and all those guys are getting Critical Blast Logistics t-shirts. It's not a mirror. I got to figure this out. So I said we're all gonna get pictures taken with our t-shirts on, so we can put it on the About Us page and map out all our hubs and show that we're covering the world. So, and as soon as I did this, Mike, you know what happens?
What?
I have a package going to South Africa. I was like, come on, who ordered books in South Africa? And finally, answering the question I've always had about crowdfunding, we had our first order going to Japan. I have never seen Japan get in on ordering for crowdfunders. The Embrace is the first I've seen that happen on. I've never seen
or probably getting in on Western comics, considering how the mainstream's going.
Exactly, but that's why crowdfunding is so different from the mainstream. It's more, dare I say, diverse and more entertaining. But it's a lot of fun, and also coming up this week. And creators take particular note because we can use your assistance on this. We've still got some slots open for this. On 2/22/22, easy to remember, 8 o'clock. That number is different. We're going to have Mark Weiss back on again from comicbooksforkids.org. We had him on 2 weeks ago. Spent 2 hours talking with him about the program there. And 2/22/22 is their National Day of Recognition for Comic Books for Kids. The organization's been around for about 8 years now. This is their first year where they're doing a National Day of trying to draw attention to the project, where they donate. They totally just give comic books.
Yeah, I think I remember you doing the stream, like, what was it, about a couple weeks ago for that?
Yeah. Well, this Tuesday for that day, we're going to have an auction on our stream. We've got some creators lined up who are going to participate. So please do pop by for that and bring your money. We're going to auction some things off. All the money is going to go to Comic Books for Kids. Mark will be with us again to keep people informed about that project and what they're doing. And Pops is going to have him there for the afternoon, warming him up. So definitely.
Well, Cross Comics was saying that he, I guess, had somebody in Finland in his campaign there.
Yeah, well, I ship to Finland all the time. Technically, I don't ship to Finland. I ship to my hub in Switzerland, and then Switzerland ships to Finland and Austria and Romania. All the countries in Europe we've got covered. That includes the UK, whether they...
And Pops, my hair grows pretty fast, so that's why it had to be cut so short.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I shaved this morning, in case you didn't know. It's just, this is how fast it goes. I sink back here and you just can't see me anymore. I just fade into blackness. Or it actually gets blacker the closer I get. Interesting. Love this camera. Not. You'll remember last night I had no camera. That's why my avatar was up on my stream last night, because it wouldn't activate. It would activate when I turned on the computer for facial recognition, so it logged me in, and then it quit. So I took it to Best Buy.
I
30 seconds
I dropped in for a few minutes there and saw that you just had your avatar up. I don't know if you saw my comment there. No camera tonight.
Yeah, well, it was literally no camera. It wasn't functioning. If I turned the camera on, all I got was a black screen with a picture of a camera drawn in the middle of it. But the camera said, yes, I'm being accessed. So it was really weird. Best Buy they took the computer, they uninstalled it and reinstalled it. I'm like, well, I should have known to do that.
I'll be right back, RJ. I have to go off screen for a moment.
Go off screen. We will just continue to remind people about the 2/22/22. It's this Tuesday. Can we say? I almost feel like Two-Face is going to rob the bank or something, because I've got so many twos in here. The Tuesday, February 22nd of 2022. I don't know how long the stream's going to go. At least an hour, maybe more. But creators, we would love to get you on here to join our current roster of guests. We are going to have Chris Tamulovich is going to be here. Keith Gleason is going to be here. And Brian Kriskow. All three of those guys have signed up to participate in this. So you're going to get some quality artwork, books, who knows what. So if you're a creator and you would like to help raise money for this organization, and here's why they need the money, guys, because I know that it's a comic book donation thing, but Mark gets the books donated to him from publishers as well as, individuals. But Mark has to pay for the shipping in from the publishers, and then he has to pay for the shipping out to the hospitals. So trust me, I know shipping is expensive. So that's where all the money goes for that. So, bring cash. Cross Comics, if you want to join, please do. I will make sure that after the show, DM me on Twitter, and I will reply to you with the link when I set it up. I haven't set it up yet. Still kind of working on getting the card put together. Was because I wanted to find out who all was going to be there before, so I could feature them on the card as being guests of the show, which is why I always wait till the last minute. Mike, this is a fly by the seat of my pants broadcast, no matter what we're doing.
Yep. Yeah. Usually I'm the one who comes in with ideas of stuff to talk about. As needed.
Well, you're a planner. Yeah. You make bullet points and stuff. I'm just like, it's time for a show. Let's turn this camera on and start talking.
Yeah. Speaking of bullet points, one of the news articles I covered this last week, and I'm not sure if it's the same one that we know, but one of the stories I covered this last week was Todd McFarlane doing an homage to Jim Lee's cover of X-Men #1. I don't know if that's the same Jim Lee that we know that did that.
Hey, Pops! The one man I don't have to send a link to because he can just join anytime he wants. You probably could have put yourself on screen without my having to do it.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to totally invite myself in. I was just like, hey, I'm knocking on the door. What's up?
I went over to Discord to see George was alive on there, and he's sleeping or something.
I was going to just make sure that we plugged everything you got going on. You're also hosting the CromCon final panel on Sunday night.
Why I am? Shoot. Yeah, okay. That's next Sunday, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's this next Sunday. Yeah.
Always the last Sunday of the month, always the last panel of that Sunday. I'm in there to sweep the floor after everybody's left and discarded all their paper cups and
see what happens with you is everybody who missed out on a time slot that hits me up, I always tell them I think RJ still got room on the final panel. See,
I always do. It's a catch-all.
Yeah. RJ, was it Jim Lee who did X-Men #1, the one that we know?
Well, if you mean the one that we know that was the publisher at DC Comics, then yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not James Lee.
Okay.
James Lee, who was on the show with us, he doesn't go by Jim.
Okay, that's right.
He used to until he met Jim Lee, and then he had to stop.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, looking forward to the 22nd. I'll be starting my day with Tuesday Morning Brew to be doing an afternoon stream for CB4K, inviting anybody that has a comic books for kids tier on your campaign to come out on Tuesday afternoon. We're going to talk about CB4K and nothing else. So,
yeah, and you know what? I just had somebody on yesterday who has several CB4K.
Michael?
Yes.
There's a few, my friend. There's a few. I've been encouraging people to add tiers to their, if they have an all ages book. Obviously, I've been encouraging them to add a CB4K tier to their campaigns. There's quite a few out there now, so we love being part of what Mark is doing. That's all.
To answer Intense Webb's question, how much to South Africa? Shipping is crazy right now. Don't spell it with 3 Ks, man. You're going to get me booted off the YouTube. You start seeing that in the chat, man. But I will say that I just shipped a basic package to South Africa, which was a book. Yeah, literally a book and a print. So, your smallest possible package. Our total, $28.11.
There you go.
That takes into, account the cost of the Gemini, the envelope, the label, the tape, the postage, and pay the man the $2 because that's what I get.
Now that you're doing logistics consulting, I'm hoping Ryan is the guy that reached out to you.
Well, I'm aware of everything, but no one's officially said, do this for us. So,
we haven't gotten near the launch yet. We're still over a month away. So, but there's going to come a time when it's going to be, hey, yo, RJ, what do you know about this and this and this?
Yeah. Tell us the numbers and what it's going to, that's largely on the front end, the consulting is, what should I charge for these tiers?
Right.
And then on the back end, if I'm not fulfilling for people, like there are people who are fulfilling themselves, but they don't understand the data, or they need somebody to slice the data up from Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
Say, I like the way you do it, because you break down each package by weight. You know how much, if somebody got this tier, you know what it's going to cost to ship that package to them. You can say, you slide that aside. We got 30 of those packages. We know how much they weigh. We know that that's going to cost.
And the more the
break
better.
It down in a way that I understand. You see what I'm saying? So
the more the better, because because like Cross Comics saying ouch to that, $28 to South Africa. But that, keep in mind, we only had one. We had one going to South Africa. If I had two, you cut that in half now per unit, because the weight didn't change all that much between it. It's I'll send two in the same box. I'll send here's the thing. If I send a bunch of them to Melbourne, Australia, this is the kicker, Pops. I had one package to Australia recently for a client. It was going to Sydney, and I was like, okay, well, one package is just one package. I can't, get you a bundle on one. To Sydney, Australia, it was going to be $85. So I'm like, that makes no sense. So, because I'm like, I just shipped to Australia for $45. Swear to God, it wasn't 2 weeks prior. So I checked the postage to on my previous one. I was like, well, what if I don't send it to Sydney? What if I send it to Melbourne? And I checked Melbourne, and it was, guess what, $45. Well, Melbourne is where our Australia hub is. So I just did a double hop. I'm like, okay, what if I send it from Melbourne to Sydney? $12. 45 and 12 is less than 85. So we sent one package double hopped from Melbourne to Sydney. And Melbourne's further away than Sydney. So I don't know why it's cheaper to go to Melbourne than Sydney, but that's what we do. And if you're in the same business and you're shipping to Australia and you got somebody in Australia, then go through Melbourne first. I'm talking way much logistics tonight. I don't know. It's taken over my life this week. If you saw, I didn't have any streams all this week except for last night. It's because I've been fulfilling and calculating and meeting with people and.
But you're going to be busy this week, aren't you?
Oh my God! Yeah. Where is my calendar? It's buried under my DVD giveaways. We're giving away, by the way, on criticalblast.com. If you like, to watch movies, it's kind of like my other thing I do. We're giving away this Mission Impossible 6-movie collection. All you got to do is just enter the contest. You'll find it on the front page in our contest section. We have a little raffle copter thing up there. All you got to do is click a button to tweet a message, click a button to follow us on Twitter, click a button to subscribe to YouTube, and you're in.
Can I do confession time right now?
Oh.
When I was young, I was a very serious fan of the TV series Mission Impossible.
Oh, who wasn't?
Mr. Phelps, all that that was solid TV back then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I confess I have never seen a Mission Impossible movie, not one of them.
I like all of them except the first one. And I like the first one except for the story. If you're not, are you going to watch them at all, Pops?
I had no intention of it, because it's like, first off, I liked the concept, and I knew if they go movie big with it, they're going to ruin it. You know what I mean? It was a TV show concept.
Yeah.
It wasn't big screen. It wasn't meant to be big screen.
Well,
it
works. Most of the time, it works. On this one, I mean, it's very much James Bond kind of stuff. Ethan Hunt's the main character, not Jim Phelps, and that's why I don't like it. Because not only is Jim Phelps not the main character, but guess what? They brought Jim Phelps back for Mission Impossible 1, and guess who was the bad guy?
Jim Phelps?
Jim Phelps. Jim Phelps turned and was basically dissatisfied with his retirement plan. Yeah. So plotted this huge big heist that ended up getting half the team killed, and Ethan had to turn on his mentor, and take care of business.
Yeah, yeah, I was just about to mention that. You just
I didn't know I could pop up stuff too. Look out!
You are totally in charge, man. I
got control of your
You can do everything we do. Yes. Here's the thing, Atrocity Press, Max. We don't use USPS to go to Australia. We use UPS. Which
I wouldn't use USPS to go out of the country. No how, nowhere.
Well, you can't for a lot of places. And Australia is one of them. It's not even an option. But UPS goes. When I go through pirate ship for everything.
You see this, RJ?
Those look like thermal labels. Oh no! Oh,
flyers to hand out at the con for Enter the Cromniverse. Oh yeah,
those are postcards.
They're flyers. Whole bunch of them.
All right,
whole bunch of them.
What con you going to?
I'm going to Hall of Heroes on March 5th and 6th, and then Grand Rapids in April.
Oh, so is Hall of Heroes in Michigan as well?
No, it's right just south in Elkhart.
Oh, okay. Elkhart, Indiana.
Yeah, those are the ones that I get. Basically, throw out the red carpet for pops at those ones. So,
It's still weird to hear people say they're going to conventions. I got used to them being gone.
It's weird for me to say I'm going to a convention to work.
Yeah.
Well, what's kind of funny too is particularly in the, not that I'm trying to get too deep into politics here or anything like that, but
what?
The bluer states have actually started to do away with the mandates.
Yeah, the mandates are disappearing.
Except here in California, of course. But
no, you're going to wear masks until you die in California.
Well, not me, and not in the area I'm at. So, but again, I didn't want to get too much into that. Just that was just noteworthy that, like, particularly up in the Northeast, there a lot of the bluer states are starting to rescind the mask mandates. I know. That's all I wanted to say on that. But anyways, getting back to something a little more positive, something a little bit more, fantasy wise or what have you. I was telling you this earlier when we were talking, earlier today, RJ. So, as you know, every Friday I do the historical comic retrospect. We started our October 1938 coverage this past Friday. We'll be in it for next couple weeks afterwards as well. And what I came upon when I was doing my research for the show was in Action Comics number 6 was Jimmy Olsen's actual first. Now, granted, he was not identified yet as Jimmy Olsen by name. He was just simply noted as office boy. And he was a lot different looking than what we all knew growing up. He wasn't Ray. He was a blonde, and he looked more like a kid. In fact, let me see. If I can go find that.
I was just thinking, anonymous cameo is what they are calling it in Action Comics number 6.
And
if I looked at the images for it, they're not really finding that. Let me see if I just search for Action Comics number 6.
Well, I'm looking it up on what I'm actually looking up the comic itself on.
The Truro police has found me. I gotta hide.
Oh no, George! They're going to put you in Canadian gulag. George is coming to us from Radio Free Canada, where he still apparently has an underground internet connection. I found the picture.
Oh, you did? Because
I will drag it over here, and I will share the screen. That button says leave studio. I don't want to do that. Share screen. Here is the picture. This is what Jimmy Olsen looked like. His very first appearance. He had the bow tie. That was it.
Yeah.
An inquisitive office boy has been getting an earful.
Yep. I was just about to pull it up from one of the sites I use, but you got it. So, yeah, I read this story, and it had some interesting stuff, and we talked, back when I talked about a number of things in there, including some word usage. Like, let me ask you something, RJ. When was the last time in comics that you saw the word surreptitiously?
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen it in comics.
It was in this story. Because one of the other things about it was Lois had tried to roofie Clark.
Good luck.
So
they were fast and loose with the rules back in the golden age.
Yep. Oh, if you think that was something, you should come by when we're doing like a lot of quality comment, like when we're doing like right now. Well, not this Friday, but next Friday. Well, I think we'll be going through Feature Funnies number, I think it's 15, of course, with the clock and Black X.
Oh yeah.
And you think this is flying fancy and loose with things like Constitution, Law and Order. You check out some of Quality's work. Well, you have, because you've been on the show with me before when we've read like a
I have. And yeah, they always did it, when it was like the bad guy doing something to the good guy, or the good guy even doing something to the bad guy. But with in the golden age, you'd have stuff like Lois trying to roofie Clark so she can beat him to a story. And just, here, drink this, because everybody had access to knockout powder. Of course they did.
Yeah.
You just ask the doctor, say, "Hey, I need something to help me sleep." Yeah, go down there and buy a bag of this. You just throw it in somebody else's drink.
Yeah, but that was what Jimmy. He was blonde haired. He did have the bow tie. And I told you this when we talked about it earlier. One of the things I'd heard over the years is the reason we got the redheaded Jimmy, as it were, was, I believe, due to Jack Larson's portrayal of him in the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series, the one starring, the late George Reeves.
Yeah, I was listening to old time radio today, because that's all I do when I'm in the car, and this is just weird coincidence. It means absolutely nothing. But we all know that Tom Taylor is writing Superman right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
yeah. I've been covering those news stories, all right.
He's still writing Superman for the time being. But
until the series crashes and burns.
Yeah. But today on the way home, coming back to do the broadcast here, they were going over the Philco radio mysteries. Where the leading lady was named Philco, Phyllis Co. But that was just to make her sound like the same name as the radio tubes that were sponsoring the show, the Philco Mystery Hour. Her boyfriend was named Tom Taylor. And he was voiced by Bud Collyer.
Bud Collyer, who basically voiced Superman in the old serials. He voiced Superman in the Fleischer cartoons, and he voiced Superman in the Filmation cartoons as well.
Exactly. So there was a Superman Tom Taylor connection back in the 30s and 40s.
Here's another thing that you were just talking about, that lady named Phyllis Co. or whatever.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there was a Phyllis Coates.
Exactly.
Who was one of the two actresses, along with Noelle Neal, who portrayed Lois Lane in The Adventures of Superman.
Yeah, so it was a very weird kind of confluence of things. Philco was a female detective, and Tom Taylor was her boyfriend who followed her around on cases, and it was just kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted by something, but
I love watching. They don't put the pictures up on the radio screen yet, but I love listening to the old time radio dramas because, first of all, they're so exceedingly well written. A lot of the wordplay is just so clever, and second of all is like you start recognizing names before they were names. Like there's one, and I can't remember the name of the detective now. A lot of detective shows that were serials, and just like in the comics, young Frank Sinatra, that's where he was, kind of getting his acting chops in. He was playing this detective. I think his last name was Fortune, but yeah, he was a Vegas detective, and he'd get in all kinds of scrapes. Pops, did you just totally disappear on us, man?
Well, I hope I didn't inadvertently chase him away when I started talking about the blue states. But
Nah.
I was just mentioning that one thing about the mask mandates being rescinded.
He would have just logged off. But he would have just logged off. He's probably got husky dog problems.
I definitely don't care about what the blue states are doing.
Well, the thing is, you're kind of in a blue state, or at least led by a blue governor. So.
Led by a blue governor, we all go, right?
You're underneath the blue country, man.
we don't pay attention to Whitmer, man. Ever since she tried to act like she got kidnapped and shit, it's like she is governor in name only. She ain't running nothing here, I promise you.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you're under a blue governor, but from what I understand, your state legislature is pretty much the Republicans have control of the state legislature. So
pretty much, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like she's governor in name only. We don't pay no attention to her. She ruined her own credibility. Her husband helped. It's like when they shut everything down, it's like he used his influence as her husband when they opened up the boat docks up north on one of the lakes for the weekend.
Oh,
yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing
up in the line, right? Because he was,
I want to go fishing. Can we get them done first? Yeah.
Pops, did you happen to hear when we were talking about the first appearance of Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah, probably way before my time, but
it's way before my time. It's way before our time.
I've never been a big DC guy, man.
Oh, See, I've always been a DC guy. I could never read the Marvel comics as a kid, and seriously, it was like I would try to read Marvel comics, and I would get like a headache. And I'm talking about
I grew up watching the cartoons.
You can tell they were trying to make you think that.
I've only been reading the comics here in my adult life. Going back and reading those old comics. I more grew up on the cartoons like Super Friends, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, well into the 90s. So that was my exposure to it.
Here's the thing. This blonde Jimmy Olsen from the Golden Age, that pretty much has to kick Jimmy Olsen off of all those ginger genocide pictures because he didn't start out with red hair, so he doesn't count anymore as a red hair being replaced. He was a ginger who replaced a blonde.
Well, yeah. As I
got an asterisk now,
right? As I explained earlier too, I believe the reason he became a redhead was from Jack Larson's portrayal of him on the Adventure of Superman TV series back in the 50s.
Yeah.
I think Intense Webs has a question. Well, what's your question?
Just throw it out there, man. We'll bring it up. We're here for another 24 minutes.
I got to go out here with this. There is one DC comic on my walls.
Oh,
one, and that's an autograph Frank Cho Wonder Woman. So
is that the one? Oh no, I was going to say, was that the one with the panty line showing? Because that one didn't get printed.
It's Rebirth.
Yeah.
Number. I can't see what number it is from here. Hold on. Let me go grab it. I'll show you.
Yeah. Do you remember when he got kicked off of Wonder Woman?
I remember everybody getting kicked off of everything because there's a whole bunch of whiny ass people in the world.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, Frank Cho had drawn Wonder Woman for the cover, and she was bent over in a certain way. Yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of, but that's a good looking one.
Yeah. As you can see, we got Frank signed it.
Yeah. Frank's cool.
Well, I think I told you guys in the past about a particular cover from Sensation Comics, which at the time Wonder Woman was the lead feature on there, where you see her, she's like swinging through the city, carrying one of her rogues at the time, Drashka Nishki, and Nishi's got a hold of the magic lasso. So, yeah, what was I just thinking? There was one other thing I was thinking too. Oh yeah. Also, I told you we got started with our October 1938 coverage for the historical comic retrospect. One of the other things that happened that month at DC was New Adventure Comics became Adventure Comics, starting with issue 32.
They weren't new anymore.
They were known as starting with issue 32, and for the remainder of its run, it was Adventure Comics. Started out through its first 11 issues as New Comics. Then from issues 12 to 31 became 1 to 11 was New Comics, and then from 12 to 31 was New Adventure Comics, and then starting with issue 32, and for the remainder of its run up until like issue 503 or whatever, it was Adventure Comics.
Now I do have three DC comics on my wall that
they're multiplying on you already.
That are art. They're sketch cover art.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy them because of the book. You see what I'm saying? They're not on my wall because of the book. They're on the wall because of the art on the cover of the book that somebody drew for me.
And the art inside probably isn't anywhere near as good.
Well, you got Batman 50. The dude drew Batman and Catwoman face to face, but without the cowls.
Okay, yeah.
And so, that's a cool ass cover. I like that. I have Harley Quinn as Deadpool holding a gun on Harley from behind, which Deadpool and Harley, come on, that's a great cover.
Match made in heaven.
And then when Action 1000 came out, they did not do a homage to Action number 1.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So I got a sketch cover, and I had Adam Fields draw me my own rendition of Action number 1. It's a retro-looking piece of art, but Superman's holding up a rather modern piece of machinery.
Yeah.
As opposed to an old beat-up coupe, he's holding up the Vikings team bus.
Oh, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Let me answer something real quick because I know Intense Wes was asking. Okay, so just so everybody knows my grooming habits a little bit here in regards to.
I already covered that. We already covered that.
I'm one of those who's kind of an all or nothing kind of person. Okay, I usually will let my hair grow out in the colder months and then just have it all shaved off.
Mike, it's still cold out, bro.
Yeah,
he's in California.
One, I'm in California, but two, I was overdue. I was a bit overdue for a cut. I mean, I was literally quite a hairy individual.
You were starting to look like you had the leading role in the new Disney Shaggy DA film.
It was and as you guys may have already noticed, for those of you who you can tell, my hair does grow pretty fast. So I mean, you can already tell. Look, see, it's already coming.
You can see it growing like a chia pet right now.
Right. If you just watch it, it'll get a little bit longer. Yeah. But Pops, do you know why Frank Cho got kicked off the Wonder Woman book?
I don't remember. I probably paid attention back then, but how many?
There was a picture of Wonder Woman that he drew, and it was kind of like the hip was thrust out a little bit, and there was a line across the butt cheek to show the panty line,
right?
Where the skirt was. That line. Greg Rucka's like, no, and he's like, too sexy.
Hell, Greg Horn drew remember the Elektra Recalled? The Recalled Elektra book where he drew a silhouette of Elektra with no panty line, and everybody lost their minds because she was a silhouette.
You never see a panty line in a silhouette.
I mean, you could sort of see just enough butt skin to know there was no there was no thong or anything. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It was flesh all the way down, but it was a very small strip of flesh. It wasn't like you could see all big old ass hanging out or anything. You know what I mean?
The way they fixed the cover was they erased that line.
Because
they
there was
erased that
no
line and the
thong
cover was
line,
deemed
they
fixed.
recalled that book.
Well, if you really want a lot of risque Wonder Woman stuff, you should take more of a look at the Golden
because we're
Age
talking
stuff.
about it doesn't mean we want it. We're talking about it.
So when I think of Greg Horn, there's only one book in my collection that's a Greg Horn book that I have. I probably have more than one. I just can't think of what they are.
I got one right there.
But one of the things that he'll go down in history for is definitely going to be Spider-Man lingerie.
I have a few Greg Horn pieces.
Well, he's a talented artist, and I haven't seen him in a long time. But
bam,
this one,
look at that.
Let's get
Into the Venom Verse,
signed
by Greg Horn.
Yeah. That's nice.
Oh yeah, Greg's artist, badass man. Just saying, dude kills it.
So he's still around then.
Oh yeah, he's in the madness.
He's in your
Greg Rucka?
Greg Horn.
Greg Horn. Huh.
Greg Horn, the artist.
Huh.
But yeah, he did that Electra. I want to say it was Marble Knights number 3, 4, or 5. I can't remember which one, but it got recalled, and then he had like 500 issues that he signed and sold. But that's all there was of the actual ones that had Electra nude. The ones that you buy in the newsstand have the thong line. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they were mad because there wasn't a line there. A single line. They pulled the whole book because there was not a single line there. There was no, frontal or no, like big old butt cheek. It wasn't like that. It was just there she is over there in the other end of the room, and the light's hitting her just in this spot, right? Running down her side.
But you know what? Let's just take care of this right now. Electra, Greg Horn, Electra recalled.
Yeah.
Why am I not finding any specific single image?
I want one of it.
And while you're doing that, let me just address Intense Web. Well, if you want to find that out, if he did actually let Lois roofie him, you can go back to my show on Friday and watch it because we covered that story. So you can find out the results of that if you want.
The Marble Knights, I'm pretty sure is look right there.
So the interiors.
The one on the
word
right.
balloons are covering her.
The one on the right. You see
the
no
one
line
right.
there?
Yep.
See no thong line there. They lost their minds.
So they were basically saying, hey, she's naked.
Yes.
So
like they couldn't tell she was naked anywhere else.
No. It was
but because
totally
there's
unclear.
not that one line right there that showed that she was wearing panties or a thong, they lost their mind, recalled the issue.
Well, as long as she was talking, she wasn't naked. She was wearing word balloons. Come on.
That's actually a great book, though. I have like 4 copies of it, just not that one. I keep hoping I'm going to score one. Every time I see it, I buy it. Maybe.
Well, it's getting close to time to wrap things up here because I've got someplace I need to be at 8 o'clock while I do some work here. But
RJ,
you're late.
Can I have just a couple quick minutes with you after the show, real quick?
Always. Mike's not ignoring you. He's been talking to you the whole time, dude. You put your headphones in Intense Webs. You're not hearing.
Well, the thing is too is I am trying to answer your questions. I just don't want to inadvertently interrupt RJ and Pops as they're talking as well. I have been answering you. It's just I'm trying to find the best segue to do it. Where I'm not cutting them off as I'm doing it.
There you go.
Yep, I want to leave everybody with this before we head out here, which is the fact that we have this comic books for kids, and it's also comic books for the troops. So, that's a separate entity that they're running now because, hey, guess what? Not all comics are for kids. And when he gets the adult ones, what do I do with these? Hey, send them to the adults in the troops because they need stuff to read too. But this is what there you go, Pops. That's still in the little queue of brand stuff down there, isn't it?
Yes.
But yeah, if you want to check it out, guys, it's cb4k.org. So you can get a little bit of an idea of who we're going to be promoting.
About my haircut. I'm not mean, guys.
He kind of looks like Leonard Snart now, doesn't he?
Captain Cold.
Captain Cold on the TV show. I forget the actor's name. What's funny is that Captain Cold and Heatwave were both prisoners together on Prison Break, and they break out and they become supervillains on the Flash. I think somebody else was too. It's like all the prisoners from Prison Break went over to the Flash to become villains.
That's what happens when you're all buddies.
That's right. You break out of the stir together, you go turn into supervillains. All right, guys, we'll see you again. So you did say I was going to be busy, and gosh darn, I am going to be busy this week. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., we are going to have Topic Thunder podcasters on here talking about their show and what they're doing. Tuesday is the big day with Comic Books for Kids on 2/22/22. 7 p.m., we're going to have Armand Nassim on with his book. 7 p.m. on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, all times. We're going to have Josh Wilson. And then, of course, Friday, I don't do shows on Fridays anymore. We'll be back Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern with Craig Sawyer. That fills out the calendar for next week. And gosh, I even have Monday the 28th is set aside for Mr. Murphy and his Celestials book. So, wow, yeah, it's going to be a busy time. Who's going to go see Batman or the Batman?
What?
Yeah, the Batman. There's a movie coming out, Pop. You might have heard about it.
I haven't had anything come out that I'm excited about in a long time. I'll let you know when something comes out I'm excited about.
I'm going to go see it because I have a movie review website, ostensibly.
Yeah, you have to work. See,
For me this week, the mic stand, of course, Monday through Thursday, we're still doing the news stories. Of course, I've been starting to incorporate some pro wrestling stories as well. And then this Friday, our next historical comic retrospect episode, we'll be continuing our coverage of October 1938, looking at, doing a quick little look at David McKay publications with Ace Comics number 20. And then also looking at Fiction House, which will be reading such features as Sheena the Jungle, Gilda Gay, the Modern Girl, and Weird Stories of the Supernatural, The Diary of Dr. Hayward. So you guys might want to come check that out.
Yeah, everybody go hit up the mic stand, link below. Pops, what's coming up on the madness this week?
Well, Monday we got Paul Gomez with Cryptic Haze. We got Gabriel Mangum talking about Nera X number 3. And we got the Murph. You know what's up. We got the Murph coming out to talk about that book they just dropped. Then Tuesday, obviously, we got the Morning Brew and then Comic Books for Kids stream. You know what's up. We'll do that for a few hours and try to get some backers for those campaigns that we know of that have CB4K tiers. And I think I have one of Wednesday or Thursday off. I do have one. I'm waiting to find out which day the guy can do, Wednesday or Thursday, but I will have a show, a special edition. And Friday, of course, CromCon. We have big stuff Friday, man. We got the ladies' night. You know what's up.
CromCon 22 all the way through the weekend.
Yeah, then Saturday and all day Sunday. Saturday night, we will be having a Enter the Cromniverse Roundtable, where you get to meet some of the people that are involved in the Cromniverse anthology. Sunday afternoon, the open draw stream will not be open. It will be a Cubert School draw stream. Tune in for that. It's all going to be a bunch of Cubert grads.
Cool.
And teachers and whatnot from the Cubert School. So
you ever reached out to Emma?
As in former DC artist Joe Cubert, right?
Yeah, he formed an art school.
Yes.
And his children teach at it now, don't they?
There's a bunch of cool. We got Nick, and there's just Nick Capone and a whole bunch of people. Man, it's going to be a good show. And then Sunday night, RJ kills it. RJ ends it with his panel, and I'm not sure what.
Totally random.
I don't think we have a topic this time, do we?
We didn't have a topic last time. We kind of did, but it's always just where does the conversation lead us, which is what happens even if we do have a topic.
Every month we end up at that what's happened in the last month with shipping and logistics and all that, and usually we talk for an hour about just what's changed since the last time we talked about it.
Which it can change pretty quick. It's been pretty stable lately, but. And I'm learning stuff all the time. I'm by no means an expert at it. All I'm good at is sussing out information.
There you go. And that's, information is a good thing, especially if it's correct.
Yes. Gosh, if all I can say, folks, is if you want someone to handle your logistics, the time to reach out to me is before you launch your campaign.
Yes.
Not after.
Yes. Because after it's too late for him to do anything but fix your mistakes before he can stop you from making them.
Yes.
There's a difference, yo.
I can still ship for you. We can take care of all that international shipping and coming into the country shipping and even just shipping in general. Mm-hmm. But if nothing like getting a spreadsheet of data in and half the items that you want to ship aren't on it. I'm like, who gets these things? we have challenges. A lot of it's on Indiegogo and Kickstarter's part too. They don't make the CSVs as simple as they should be. Let's say, for instance, I download a spreadsheet from Indiegogo, and it's got all the items on it. But guess what? It doesn't have the add-ons. You have to download a different spreadsheet to get the add-ons to come with it. And they don't tell you that. You can be halfway through a fulfillment and realize, oh crap, I've got to unbox everything.
I don't have the add-ons here. Yeah. See, and this is why I went to RJ. I said I wasn't even going to do a book unless RJ was handling my fulfillment. So he thinks like I do. He dissects it and examines it from all angles, not just the one he's hearing about. And, that's how you got to do it, man. You got to be correct.
And every one of them's different,
Okay, so to answer Intense Web's question, I have a barber who cuts my hair. I'm not joining the Marines. I haven't been in the Pokey. I figured I answered those questions already, but if you specifically wanted an answer for those specific, so be it. No, I have a barber who cuts my hair every few months when I feel I need it.
Next Sunday's open mic is going to be nothing but Mike's hair.
Well, by that time it'll be probably something like this long.
Well, next Sunday it'll be the one where we talked about Mike's hair. This one was the one before the audit. And that reminds me, I've got the stream to jump over and watch because I'm just very, very curious where this story is going to go. So
if I can have a couple of minutes with you after the show real quick.
You got it, man. All right, guys, thanks for popping in and talking with us for the last hour. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. Pops, jump in anytime you want, man. You've got co-ownership of the channel for a reason, so definitely use it.
We definitely need to talk about that other thing too, that we were talking about where as far as this thing goes, I want more. I want more destinations. I want more, bigger and better. So, let's.
I know. I have my own thoughts on that, and I'm like,
that's what I said. Let's talk when we can.
All right.
All
right, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We don't have a show without you, and with that, as always, we just hope you had a blast. Good night.